To all my fellow brothers and sisters, peace be with you in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. My name is Ben, and I welcome you to the Restored Ephraim Publications channel. Today we're going to continue our study of the Book of Enoch. If you are new here and you like this version of the Book of Enoch, you can download it for free. There's 2 links in the notes of my video below. And the first link doesn't work so well. So I put in the second link, which works better. And so you can feel free to download a free copy of this work. And also, if you're new here, I highly recommend that you watch the previous Book of Enoch videos. If you're on YouTube or YouTube, I have a playlist that puts them all in order so you can easily find them. Unfortunately, on BitChute, I do not have a playlist at this time, but you can scroll through all my videos, and in the title of each video, you can see what chapters I cover in the Book of Enoch in that video. Now, today we are going to start in chapter 58 of the Book of Enoch. Last time, in the last video, we finished the second parable, and now we're beginning the third parable, which is the last parable of the second section of the Book of Enoch. Now, there's a lot of really good stuff in this in this parable, including a part of what is called the Book of Enoch. So let's go ahead and get started. In chapter 58, verse 1, it says, "I began to speak the third parable concerning the righteous and the elect. Blessed are ye, O righteous and elect, for glorious is your lot. The righteous shall exist in the light of the sun, and the elect in the light of everlasting life, which has no end, and the days of the saints without number. And they shall seek the light and find righteousness with the Lord of the spirits. There shall be peace to the righteous in the name of the eternal Lord." So let's pause right there. So this is directed to those who are the righteous and the elect on the earth. He says that they shall exist in the light of the sun, and the elect in the light of everlasting life. This makes a lot of sense when you understand about the different kingdoms of God. Doctrine and Covenants, section 76, verse 70 says, "These are they whose bodies are celestial, whose glory is that of the sun, even the glory of God, the highest of all, whose glory the son of the firmament is written of as being typical." So, in that verse, we see that the sun is compared to the celestial kingdom. But then we also talk about this thing called eternal life here. The elect in the light of everlasting life. Now, in the celestial kingdom, we are taught that there are 3 heavens or degrees of glory. And this is Doctrine and Covenants, section 131, starting verse 1, it says, "In the celestial glory there are 3 heavens or degrees." And we know that the various highest one is what we refer to as eternal life. And so those who are righteous in this life, they will exist in the celestial kingdom and can gain eternal life. And it says, "Henceforward shall the saints in heaven be told to seek the secrets of righteousness, the portion of faith. For like the sun, it has arisen upon the earth while darkness has passed away. There shall be light without number, nor shall they come to number days, for darkness shall be previously destroyed, and light shall increase before the Lord of the spirits. Before the Lord of the spirits shall the light of uprightness increase forever." and that ends chapter 58. So here, it says that the saints in heaven will be told to seek the secrets of righteousness. If you think you can learn everything that there is to learn on this earth, you're going to be very surprised. There's so much more knowledge that the Lord has to give us, but we're just not ready for it. And the righteous who go on to the celestial kingdom, they will be able to continue to learn and grow and understand all of the secrets that are out there that the Lord has that we're not ready for right now. And it says that they won't number days and there'll be no darkness. So again, that's the state of the celestial kingdom. The earth becomes a celestial kingdom. And so they'll live here and inherit this earth, but it'll be filled with celestial glory at that time. Moving on to chapter 59, it says, "In those days my eyes beheld the secrets of lightnings and of the lights, and the judgment belonging to them, and they lighten for a blessing and for a curse, according to the will of the Lord of the spirits." So here we see something called the secrets of the lightnings, and that at one point they lighten for a blessing. At another point they cause a cursing, and that it's done according to the will of the Lord of the spirits. So the concept of lightning, like flashes of light, it's referring to a certain knowledge, and technology may fall under this purview as well. And so knowledge is given, and it's either for a blessing or for a cursing. So if the people are righteous, the Lord gives them knowledge that will lead to their blessing and increase and protection and safety. But on the other hand, if the people are being not righteous, then the Lord gives them knowledge that will help them lead down to destruction. The second verse has the same idea. It says, "And there I saw the secrets of the thunder, when it rattles above in heaven, and its sound is heard. The habitations also of the earth were shown to me. The sound of the thunder is for peace and for blessing, as well as for a curse, according to the word of the Lord of the spirits." So again, this is symbolic. The thunder represents knowledge, and it's given to the earth either for a blessing or for a cursing. And then the final verse in this chapter says, "And after that all the secrets of the lights and lightnings were shown to me, and they lighten for blessing and for satiation." And so that is kind of the same idea, but instead of talking about the cursing, it says satiation, which means like being satisfied. And so Enoch was shown secrets of lights and lightning, and it was done to him as a blessing and to satisfy him because of his search for truth. That ends chapter 59. Chapter 60 is what scholars would consider the Book of Noah. When you look at the actual text, chapter 65 through 69 are the actual Book of Noah, but scholars will say that 60 through 71 is the Book of Noah. And so it's kind of inserted here in this third parable. What probably happened is that there was an independent Book of Noah, but due to its similarity to the Book of Enoch, they probably decided to shove it in there, and then they created a narrative to connect it on why it was there. And so let's go ahead and get started. In verse 1 it says, "In the 500th year, and in the 7th month, on the 14th day of the month of the lifetime of Enoch, in that parable I saw that the heaven of heavens shook, and it shook violently, and that the powers of the Most High and the angels, thousands of thousands, and myriads of myriads, were agitated with a great agitation." So let's pause right there. So the first thing we need to look at is that this is talking, it says that this was done in the 500th year, in the 7th month, on the 14th day of the month of the lifetime of Enoch. So we know by the scriptures that Enoch never died. We know that Enoch's entire lifespan on this earth, before he was translated with his city, was 430 years. And then the last 365 of those years is referring to the city of Enoch. And in its 365th year, it was translated up. Now, a lot of scholars think that from chapter 60 to chapter 71, except for 65 through 69, they believe that a scribe changed the name Noah to Enoch. But as I looked through this, I didn't really get that sense. But well, we do have to explain this 500th year. Enoch never died, and so if this number is not an interpolation, and then it could just be referring to when Enoch is that he had these revelations when he was already translated up from the earth, and that would mean like this took place some like 70 years after the city of Enoch was translated. It says here that he saw the heaven of heavens shook, and it says that it shook violently, and that the powers of the Most High and the angels, thousands of thousands and myriads of myriads, were agitated with a great agitation. So this is part of the reason why they attribute this to Noah, and that because there's in the King James Version of the Bible, there's no reference to Enoch seeing this. But in the Joseph Smith translation, there is actually. In the Book of Moses, which is the Joseph Smith translation of Genesis, this is Moses chapter 7, verse 61, it says, and the day shall come that the earth shall rest, but before that day the heavens shall be darkened, and a veil of darkness shall cover the earth, and the heavens shall shake, and also the earth, and great tribulations shall be among the children of men, but my people will I preserve. We also see in in Matthew 24, or in Joseph Smith Matthew 1, verse 36, it says, "And I said before, after the tribulation of those days, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken, then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory." So there we see, talking about the powers of heaven being shaken, and so that has a similarity. Now, scholars will tend to see this as talking about the flood, but it's not. It's actually talking about events that take place around the second coming. And we know that Enoch was shown the entire history of the world, basically. He saw the meridian of time when Jesus Christ came. He saw all the wickedness that was after the flood and after that, and he sees the return. And so, and that's all from the Joseph Smith translation. The Book of Enoch is again showing us that the Joseph Smith translation is not something made up. It's something that they have a shared connection to each other. So then it says, "And when I looked, the Ancient of Days was sitting on the throne of his glory, while the angels and righteous were standing around him. A great trembling came upon me, and terror seized me. My loins were bowed down and loosened, my reins were dissolved, and I fell upon my face. And Michael sent another angel from among the holy ones, and he raised me up. And when he had raised me up, my spirit returned, for I had not been able to endure the look of this host, and the commotion and the shaking of heaven." Let's pause right there. So, in addition to this, Enoch sees into heaven. He sees the Ancient of Days, who is Michael, and he sees him sitting on a throne of glory, and he becomes very afraid. And so Michael sends another angel to him to lift him up and give him courage. Then it says, "And Michael said unto me, Why art thou disquieted with such a vision? Until this day lasted the day of his mercy. He hath been merciful and long-suffering towards those who dwell on the earth. But when the time shall come, then shall the power, the punishment, and the judgment take place, which the Lord of the spirits has prepared, for those who do not prostrate themselves to the judgment of righteousness, for those who deny the judgment of righteousness, for those who take his name in vain. That day has been prepared for the elect as a day of covenant, and for the sinners as a day of inquisition." And so, through the angel Michael asked Enoch why he's been so disturbed by this vision that he sees, and that it's at this time that this is referring to the judgment that will take place against all those who do not worship the Lord and keep his ways, and against those who take his name in vain, the Lord of the Spirit's name in vain. Next, it says, "On that day, two monsters will be parted. one monster, a female named Leviathan, in order to dwell in the depths of the sea above the springs of water, and a male called Behemoth, which holds his chest in an invisible wilderness, whose name is Dandaean, east of the Garden of Eden, wherein the elect and the righteous will dwell. Wherein man was returned, I shall bring from Adam before the people which the Lord of the Spirits created. So let's pause right there. That's quite a mouthful. But next, he's told that two monsters will be parted from each other. I don't think it means literally a monster. Is probably just referring to big creatures. He sees a female one called Leviathan, and he sees another one called Behemoth. Now, these two monsters represent two feasts that will take place in the future. And this comes from Revelation chapter 19, verse 17 to 18. The second one mentioned in Revelation is the first one mentioned in the Book of Enoch, the Leviathan. It says in Revelation 19, 17 and 18, "And I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, Come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great God, that ye may eat the flesh of kings, and the flesh of captains, and the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of horses, and of them that sit on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great." So this first feast, the Leviathan, is referring to the feast that will occur upon the wicked. So the wicked will be destroyed, and animals will come. The Lord will send animals to devour their flesh. Now, Behemoth is referring to the feast that takes place in Revelation chapter 7 through 9, which is called the marriage of the Lamb. It says, "Let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him, for the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife hath made herself ready. And to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen, clean and white. For the fine linen is the righteousness of saints. And he saith unto me, Right, blessed are they which are called unto the marriage supper of the Lamb. And he saith unto me, These are the true sayings of God." So this the second feast, the Behemoth, is referring to the feast of the marriage supper of the Lamb. Now it talks about an invisible wilderness. I'm not too sure about the word invisible. I can't tell if it means something specific, like the Lord concealing a place from other people, or if it's an interpolation. I'm not 100% sure on that. But it talks about a place called Dandaean, which is east of the Garden of Eden. And so, of course, you might think that I am overreaching, and that's fine with me if you want to think that way. But I believe that Dandaean is actually a corruption of the phrase Adam on thy Amen. In section 116 of the Doctrine and Covenants, it says, Spring Hill is named by the Lord Adam on thy Amen, because, said he, it is the place where Adam shall come to visit his people, or the Ancient of Days shall sit, as spoken of by Daniel the prophet. So what happened here is that somehow this verse got highly corrupted in the Book of Enoch. It became so corrupted that scholars do not use that part of the manuscript that is termed a manuscript, and instead they use B and C because they believe it's less corrupted at this part. But B and C say a completely different thing, which hides up what this verse is actually trying to say. So, contrary to what scholars and what you will read in other manuscripts, in my manuscript, for this part, I use manuscript A, even though it was highly corrupted, because even though it's highly corrupted, you can still see what it's trying to say here. And so this place, Dendayan, or Adam on Diamond, I found in this language that they're using, in Hebrew, where there should be like an M, they wrote it with an N, and so it's in some places. It might be able to say that this might have read Demdayan. And of course, then Dem is a corruption of Adam. And then Day is a corruption of Ondai. And In is a corruption of Amen. Adam, Ondai, Amen. And so that's where I get that from. And it's east of the Garden of Eden. It's the place where Adam dwelt and where he will return to visit his people. And then, and this is what it's trying to say. It's talking about it says, wherein man was returned. This is referring to the gathering that will be held at Adam Ondai Amen. And then it says, I shall bring from Adam before the people which the Lord of Spirits created. And as I said, this is really corrupted. But it's this is referring to Adam being there. Now, if you read in my version of the Book of Enoch, you see in the footnotes, I give what I think that this is trying to say. So what I'm going to read now, if you read the text, you can see the changes that I made to the original text. So to show you what I think it's trying to say. But it's hard to show that on this video. So if you want to look at that, feel free to download this in the notes of this video below. But this is what I think it was trying. Let me read it again in the A version, then I'll read you my interpretation. And a male called Behemoth, which holds his chest in an invisible wilderness, whose name is Dendayan, east of the Garden of Eden, wherein the elect and the righteous will dwell, wherein man was returned, I shall bring from Adam before the people which the Lord of Spirits created. So that's what it says in the A manuscript. And this is what I think it's trying to say. I start at where it says wherein man was returned. wherein the Son of Man will return, and he shall be brought before Adam, the Ancient of Days, from among the people, and shall be given power to rule over all the nations which the Lord of the spirits created. And so this is, in my opinion, is referring to when Jesus Christ officially takes control of the governance of the world as the true king. Then it says, moving on, in verse 9 it continues, I besought the other angel to show me the power of these monsters, how they became separated on this day, and were cast one in the depths of the sea and one in the dry land of the wilderness. Now, the conversation stops right here, because from verse 10 to verse 23 is what I consider to be a horrible interpolation that ought to be rejected. And it interrupts this very important conversation that Enoch is having with this angel. That conversation that we just read will continue in verse 24. Now, I am going to read 10 through 23, even though I consider it an interpolation. The ideas that will be presented in this section, they are mirrored in other places of the Book of Enoch, and basically all that it's trying to say is that the Lord has like spirits and angels controlling the weather of this earth. Now, I don't disagree with that statement, but it has nothing to do with the current topic that we're trying to discuss. So let me quickly go through this interpolation. And he said to me, Thou son of man, according to the degree to which it will be permitted, thou shalt know that which is hidden. And the other angel who proceeded with me spoke to me and showed me the first and last secrets in heaven above, and the depths of the sea, and the ends of the heaven, and on the foundation of the heaven, and the chambers of the winds, and how the winds are divided, and how they are weighed, and how the portals of the winds are reckoned, each according to the power of the wind, and the power of the lights of the moon, and according to the power that is fitting, and the divisions of the stars according to their names, and how the divisions are divided. For the thunder has places of rest which are assigned to it while it is waiting for its peal, and the thunder and lightning are inseparable, and although not one and undivided, they both go together through the Spirit and separate not. For when the lightning lightens, the thunder utters its voice, and the Spirit enforces a pause during the peal, and divides equally between them. For the treasury of their peals is like the sand, and each one of them, as it peals, is held in with a bridle, and turned back by the power of the Spirit, and pushed forward according to the many quarters of the earth. And the spirit of the sea is masculine and strong, and according to the might of his strength he draws it back with a rein. And in like manner it is driven forward and disperses amid all the mountains of the earth. And the spirit of the hoarfrost is his own angel, and the spirit of the hail is a good angel, and the spirit of the snow has forsaken his chambers on account of his strength. There is a special spirit therein, and that which ascends from it is like smoke, and its name is frost. And the spirit of mist is not united with them in their chambers, but it has a special chamber, for its course is glorious both in light and in darkness, and in winter and in summer, and in its chamber is an angel. And the spirit of the dew has its dwelling at the ends of the heaven, and is connected with the chambers of the rain, and its course is in winter and summer, and its clouds and the clouds of the mist are connected, and the one gives to the other, And when the spirit of the rain goes forth from its chambers, the angels come out and open the chamber and lead it out. And when it is diffused over the whole earth, it unites with the water on the earth. And whensoever it unites other waters, it unites with the water upon the earth, which is for the use of those who dwell on the earth, for they are nourishment. For the earth from the Most High, who is in heaven, therefore there is a measure for the rain, and the angels take charge. And these things I saw towards the garden of the righteous. So that ends at chapter 23, that interpolation. If it was my choice, I would just rip that whole section out. It is absolutely meaningless here. Though it's already mentioned in other places of the Book of Enoch. I don't disagree with the idea that the Lord has spirits or angels overseeing the things of nature. I don't disbelieve that at all. It's just, it is really bad placing right here as it interrupts an important conversation. Now, because we had to read through that, I want to reread verse 9 and then continue with the rest of the chapter as it should be. And I besought the other angel to show me the power of these monsters, how they become separated on this day, and were cast, one in the depths of the sea, and one in the dry land of the wilderness. Now verse 24. And the angel of peace, who was with me, said, These two monsters are prepared for the great day of the Lord, when they shall become food, that the punishment of the Lord of the spirits should come down upon them, in order that the punishment of the Lord of the spirits should not be issued in vain, but slay the children with their mothers, and children with their fathers, when the punishment of the Lord of the spirits comes down upon everyone. After that there shall be the judgment according to his mercy and long suffering. So that's the end of chapter 60, and we're going to stop here. Here we see the idea that these two monsters are food, and that's the Holy Spirit helped me to connect them to the two feasts that are talked about in Revelation chapter 19. And so the wicked will be destroyed, and but the righteous will be preserved. And that is where it will continue in the next video. I leave this with you in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.